Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Marvel Legends Marvel's ORB, part of the Puff Adder Build-A-Figure wave of Avengers figures. Is this guy... Alright, we're going to do a question of the day right away. Did you want a figure of ORB? Did you want this version of him? And is he part of the Avengers? Should he be part of the Avengers line? I didn't think he was an Avengers-related character, but I also have very minimal knowledge of this character. I know he exists. I thought he had something to do with... Was it Ghost Rider? I think it was Ghost Rider. Anyway, whatever. You guys can let me know. Did you want him? Is he popular enough to get a figure? What the heck is going on here? I would have never guessed we'd get a figure of ORB. But he's here. So let's go ahead and get him off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about 6 5/8 inches tall, which is going to make him roughly a little shy of 17 centimeters. Here he is up against Darwin, just a little bit taller at the top of the eyeball. And before we get into the rest of the review, I just want to mention real quick, the other day in my Captain America, where is he? In this review, the review for this guy, somebody mentioned something about the brightness of the video and it was washing out stuff, and it wasn't actually the brightness, it was other things, but he was right that I did have a problem with my settings. I don't know what happened exactly, but I got the settings figured out, and I don't know how I got the wrong settings in there, but the settings are fixed now, so hopefully all the white stuff shows up nicely, and that is good. So thanks to whoever mentioned that, it made me look into it, and I got things situated. So let's go ahead and get into this. It's Bucky Cap, like almost literally. I don't believe this is the belt Bucky Cap had. I believe he had a knife in his, and obviously it's not the head or collar, but the rest of this figure is exactly the original version, original release Bucky Cap that came out, I believe, in 2013. I still think it's one of their better chests and backs. It's not perfect, but it's decent, but otherwise it's only okay. The arms are fine, the legs are disproportionate, but still, it's a 10-year-old mold at this point, and I was very surprised to see the exact gloves and everything from that release. It's very strange. So you guys can, I'm sure you guys hate that, and I'm not pleased with it. But I guess for ORB it doesn't matter. Maybe that's what they were thinking. So it's also just solid red plastic. It looks okay in that this red's a little bit darker than the rest, but otherwise it matches. The white parts appear to be molded. I believe all the white is molded except for the stars on the chest. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So the whites are okay. And then the blue paint job is surprisingly good. It's not really enough, if you ask me, to make the figure like considered good. But the stars, not perfect, but overall they're pretty good on the chest. On the back we don't get any. But on the gloves we do get some, and they are surprisingly well done. I don't think though that is enough of a paint job to make a figure look like it's worth 26 bucks, because otherwise it's just molded plastic. Looks cheap as hell, really cheap. The eyeball, I don't know if this is, I'm assuming it's not meant to be a helmet. I'm assuming it is actually meant to be an eyeball, I guess. They did make it out of glossy plastic, or at least has a glossy coat over it, and they did a good job with the little veins in there, blood vessels. That looks good. The iris, I mean, it's just painted on, so it doesn't actually curve in like it's supposed to, but its paint job is pretty good. I think it needs to be glossier, but here's the cool thing. They actually did sculpt a lump there where the cornea is, which is accurate to an eyeball, so that's really cool. But I think it would have been even cooler if it was clear on the outside to actually look like an eyeball. That would have been really cool, and have the dipped in sclera, but there's no way they're going to put that much effort into it. But for what it is, it looks pretty good. So aesthetically speaking, other than being a really outdated body with really disproportionate legs, it doesn't have any paint other than the little bit that's there, which is good enough, but that's not enough for me. I'm going to say this figure only gets 6 out of 10. It looks dated and not worth the price point if you ask me. Eyeball is cool though. So for accessories, we just get his gun. No alternate hands, just his little blaster with the tiniest bit of paint on the front. I'm assuming the hole in the front is meant to accept like the smoke or blast effects that we've seen in other figures, but we don't get any with him, so that blows. 0 out of 10 for accessories. I took away, I was going to give it a 1, but it's a spite point for not giving alternate hands on a mold this old, or the smoke or blast effects that can presumably fit in that gun. So 0 out of 10 for accessories, Hasbro, screw you. Alright, let's talk about the articulation, even though we've seen it a lot. except for the neck part because we never saw an eyeball on the head. It doesn't lean back very far because the collar and eyeball get in the way. It doesn't lean forward very far for the same reason. Obviously, leaning side to side doesn't really do much. Rotation, as you might have guessed, is fine. The collar is just a floaty piece, by the way. So, you know, I mean, I guess that's okay. Shoulders go up just to horizontal. You get your full rotation. Bicep swivel is fine. Double jointed elbow, it's okay. There is no rotation for the glove. You do get a wrist swivel and a hinge. Same thing on this side, though it's the wrong hinge for the gun, so that's annoying. Torso leans back. Holy macaroni, that is a gap. That is a huge gap. Oh boy. Goodness, I don't remember it being that bad. That is bad. You can get Darwin's hand inside his chest. So that's a thing. Goodness gracious. The back is even worse. I don't remember it being that bad. Was it always that bad? That's egregious. That's craziness. Wow. Wow. Sound like Owen Wilson. Wow. Alright, you get a waist twist. Floaty belt is floaty. And then for the hips, they kick up to horizontal. That's fine. They go back nicely, going out to the side. Look at that. It can be done on a 10-year-old figure. You can get the hips all the way out to the side with like out huge gaps or anything. That's cool. Thigh swivel is fine. Double jointed knees work no problem. Shows how long the lower legs are when they shouldn't be. You do get your boot swivel. Ankles go all the way back on the tiny feet. Pretty far forward. And you get a good ankle rocker. So, as usual, the articulation is not bad on this mold, though the torso is really gappy. You don't remember that. Could be better, but it's not bad. I'll give it a 7 for Marvel Legends. It's fine. Nothing impressive. Nothing too detrimental. Just don't use the ab crunch that far and it won't be a big deal. But goodness gracious. So yeah, 7 for the articulation. And now it's time for a final verdict on a figure I never thought I'd be reviewing in a million years because I didn't think they'd make it. But once they made it, I knew I was going to review. Anyway, okay, so I'll give it a final verdict of 6 out of 10. There's no way this is worth 26 bucks. It doesn't look good. The molded red plastic, especially with the chest being inconsistent, I'm just not liking it. The paint job on the chest is not saving it. The eyeball's cool, but for me, this is just not even close to worth 26 bucks. No alternate hands. Nothing. Just a gun without even the blast effect that it has a hole for. They're just cheaping out on purpose. Like, you know, somebody said, no blast effect. Put a hole in it, but no blast effect. Somebody said that. We're going to save that 2 cents. Somebody decided that. Somebody at the top, not the very top, but above the designer, said that. And I don't like that, so screw them. 6 out of 10. This figure is not worth buying. If you really want Puff Adder, just buy the part on eBay or wait for this guy to get marked way down because he most definitely will. This guy I cannot imagine is going to fly off the shelves. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos almost every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. In the meantime, keep collecting.